does Tom Van Steenbergen ever try a trick that size outside of Rampage? Like, to me, Rampage has got him to this point of pushing himself to the sheer limits of what he can mentally do, right? And he talked about visualizing this trick and probably at home for months and years. But
you should get him on the podcast. Yeah.
I'd love to, especially, I mean, he was obviously quite outspoken and disappointed, which, you know, props to them if he's put his heart and soul into something. I should get him on. He'd be great.
The preparation that he did for that,
does he do a trick like that away from Rampage? Like, he probably doesn't do a trick like that for a video pod. Not that big. Maybe.
Not that big, right? I mean, he has, I remember, gosh, I was on a shoot with him for TGR and Anthill collab movie. That one was Unreal, is what it was called. And he did like a 70-foot, I think it was in the 70-foot range, you know, double. The aspect ratio of this video is not long enough. I'm like, it was a double like this. Here we go. It was a double like this. You know, mega long front flip. And so he does, I mean, look at his X Games part. This guy is like on the sharpest edge of pushing the sport. But I think it's, if you get a goal of something to do in Rampage, especially if you're a Rampage veteran like he is, you know that the pressure is going to be so much higher. If that's the goal, is to front flip that thing, here's like the amount of pressure to go out there and do it for a film project. And here's setting that as your goal for Rampage. Like, we're out of frame now. Like,
out of screen, out of YouTube. We are above YouTube aspect ratios.
And he knows too. He's not like naive to that. He's not like, once everything's said and done, like, oh, wow, that was a lot to bite off. I probably should have just done that for a video part. He knows. He's like, I'm going to do it for Rampage because that is the stage. And that's the highest target you can shoot for, is to link something like that in the context of a full run at Rampage.
Yeah, and he got the full run done. That's one of the gnarliest, if not gnarliest, things we've seen on two wheels.
I would very much agree with that. 100%. I mean, I don't know, for people watching at home, because Rampage gets so many eyeballs from people who aren't mountain bikers, if anybody is like, oh gosh, so front flip, back flip, what's the difference? Like, just to give a little bit of context, I know most of the people who are listening to this are mountain bikers, but you land way harder on a front flip than you do on a straight air or a back flip. So if you jump that Price is Right step down, straight air, you land hard. If you flip it, it's so gnarly and it's such a dice roll. You actually land smoother though, which is awesome if you're good at flipping big cliffs. But if you front flip that, even if you front flip a dirt jump, standard size, even like a dirt jump on a slopestyle course, you typically land harder because you have all, you know, your downward force from, you know, gravity pulling you down back to earth, but also that rotation of the front flip is coming around against the landing, and it's just push. So he landed. Yeah,
that inertia is insane.
Yeah, he landed pretty perfect, but he still bounced. Like, you watch that clip, he lands and he bounces and he's going the wrong way. He keeps his eyes up and he rails this berm. That was, I think, my favorite visual from the event. And I was trying to picture, that was Ethan's landing there. If Ethan's landing wasn't there and it was the edge, like, he might have kept going. He would have gone off track, but he just bermed off of that thing. And that was mountain biking right there, wasn't it?
Dude, insane. I mean, just the subconscious skill set that everyone possesses to ride out some of these sketchy moments. It's like, there's no thought. There's no practicing that. There's no getting good at that style of thing. That is just like the subconscious brain telling the fingers when to pull what. Like, it's insane. And as you said, so this front flip, I mean, he mentioned, like, the margin for error is basically zero on a big jump like that. A little bit under rotated, then he slaps the front wheel so hard he probably gets bounced over the front. Over rotate, we all know what's happening there. That's just a disaster waiting to happen. Like, he has to land perfect, which both wheels touching the ground at the same time on a front flip is, I guess, classified as perfect, which he somehow did on the biggest damn drop known to man that you could probably front flip. And then he still bounces, like you guys said in the booth, like, and he still bounced both wheels off.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
dude.
No, it's like,